Now we're going to check in with our panel on a tasting of white Cotes du Rhone wines. White Cotes du Rhone wines were really not even available as little as 20 years ago. There were great examples of white Hermitage and Condrieu, but white Cotes du Rhone wines were really fairly rare, and even if you could find them, not terribly good. They were thin and oxidized, not very fresh examples, and not something you really want to seek out. Now today, the story is really quite different. Today's wines are very tech savvy. Most of them are stainless steel fermented, and they're very fresh, and they have great stone fruit aromas, like peach and nectarine, and express a really pleasant minerality. They're usually a blend of 2 to 5 grape varieties. So in today's tasting, we're also going to introduce for our panel our experience scale. Now the experience scale is how much experience do these individual panel members have tasting wine. On the one end of the scale is a 1, that's a complete novice. On the far end of the scale is a 5, that's a veteran wine drinker, somebody who really has more than 20 years experience in a professional level of tasting wine. So let's go check in with our panel on a tasting of white Cotes du Rhone wines.
Here's how we conduct our panel tasting. We choose a group of people with different experience levels and divide the tasting into 2 parts. Each panel member rates the wine from favorite to least favorite. We break for a bite to eat, and then we rate the wines again. Last, we tell the panel members the price of each bottle and ask them to do a value rating, and then we give the results to you. So let's meet our panel. Ed has been an avid amateur wine enthusiast for over 10 years and has a very good palate. Ed gets a 3.5 experience rating. Carrie has a strong background in fashion and design and has worked in quality restaurants. Carrie gets a 2 out of 5 on our experience scale. Tim is an accomplished musician and a chef. Tim's more of a beer man but has enough professional experience to rate a 2.0 on our scale. Mark is a seasoned wine veteran. Mark has tasted extensively with the renowned wine critic Robert Parker, has owned his own restaurants, and been in the wine business for over 25 years. As for me, I started collecting wine when I was 15, was a professional wine steward at age 22, ran the wine program for a luxury hotel and restaurant, and am now a buyer for Wishing Well Liquors. With over 25 years experience tasting wine, I also get a 5 out of 5 rating. And now for the wines. All were from the 2007 vintage, considered to be very good to excellent in the Rhone. Le Chaise du Pape was our first bottle. Frankly, the panel did not care for this wine. It tasted rather thin and tart, so we're not going to dwell on this one. The Perrin Reserve, produced by the legendary Perrin brothers of Chateau de Beaucastel, showed very well and was Tim's favorite in all categories. I thought the Viognier component added nice bright fruit, about $11 to $13. The Ferraton Péréfi was very impressive, and the majority of the panel liked this wine with the food we were eating, an Indian-style chicken dish, and for value. Mark commented on the notes of lychee and Asian pear, and we all detected pleasant baking spice aromas, about $11 to $13. The St. Côme was the most dynamic wine with explosive fruit aromas and a weighty palate. The banana oil aroma was intense. Tim commented on umeboshi, a Japanese pickled fruit, and Carrie offered circus peanuts, which is one of my favorite comments of the night. Ed rightly noted that this wine needed food with salt and fat. It was also the most expensive wine at $24 to $28, so it slipped a bit in the value scale.
I hope you enjoyed our panel tasting of white Cotes du Rhone wines. These wines are very interesting and offer a great alternative to Chardonnay, and usually offer really exceptional value. We opened a second bottle of St. Côme during this tasting, and it showed really differently than the first, not nearly as pronounced on the banana aromas. It wasn't a case of bottle variation, just a beautiful reminder that you can only taste the bottle in front of you. The same wine can taste very different at different times, and it takes a little understanding on your part. Wine can have moods too, and it helps to be patient and understanding of the wine you're drinking. Handcrafted wines, they have a distinctive personality, and they don't always perform on command. So take the time to serve your wine at the right temperature and with the necessary amount of breathing. You'll be rewarded by knowing you got the most out of the money that you spent on that bottle. Thanks for watching Bonjour. Cheers.